Please subscribe my channel.
When humanity finally encountered intelligent life beyond their solar system, the galaxy had already decided what humans were: a short-lived, physically fragile species from a volatile planet that should have destroyed itself long before it ever reached the stars. The collective had catalogued thousands of civilizations, each classified, measured, and ranked by survivability. And humanity's projected lifespan was among the lowest ever recorded. Their planet was unstable, their biology inefficient, their emotional responses unpredictable, and their history was a continuous record of self-inflicted disasters. By all logical models, humans should not have survived long enough to matter. And yet, they did. The collective's first contact protocols were designed to manage fear. But when human representatives appeared calm, curious, and disturbingly unafraid, analysts flagged the encounter as an anomaly. Humans asked questions no other species asked, not about power hierarchies or technological advantages, but about history, about failures, about extinct civilizations. It was an unusual curiosity, but it was dismissed as cultural immaturity. The misunderstanding became clear only after the first conflict began. The collective did not intend a war, only a demonstration. A limited strike meant to establish dominance and force compliance. The same method that had succeeded countless times before. Human colonies were neutralized, orbital infrastructure dismantled, and communication networks disrupted with precision. Surrender was expected within days. Instead, the humans adapted. There was no centralized panic, no collapse of command, no desperate plea for negotiation. Human response was fragmented, disorganized, and inefficient by collective standards. But within that chaos was something deeply unsettling. Every human faction reacted differently, experimenting rather than obeying a unified doctrine. Where one defense failed, another improvised. Where one fleet was destroyed, another learned. And while losses mounted, resistance intensified rather than diminished. The collective struggled to interpret this behavior because it violated a fundamental assumption of galactic warfare, that survival required stability. Humans had evolved without stability. Their history was defined by environmental collapse, internal conflict, extinction-level threats, and constant uncertainty, and instead of breaking under pressure, they had learned to function within it. As engagements continued, collective commanders reported a recurring issue. Humans were not attempting to preserve optimal outcomes. They were testing boundaries. Human ships deliberately entered unwinnable scenarios, pushing response limits, provoking overreactions, and recording every outcome. It became clear that humans treated combat as a form of communication, extracting information not through diplomacy, but through experience. When the collective escalated, deploying fear-based weapons designed to cripple morale, the results were again inverted. Human populations did not withdraw from conflict, they internalized it. Memorials appeared alongside factories, remembrance alongside production, loss alongside motivation. Where other species fragmented under sustained trauma, humans integrated it into their identity. This was when fear first appeared within the collective, not fear of defeat, but fear of comprehension. The models no longer predicted outcomes reliably. Human behavior remained consistent only in one regard: they refused to stop. There was no threshold beyond which humans disengaged permanently. Every retreat was temporary. Every loss was contextualized. Collective historians began cross-referencing human archival data, and what they found was disturbing. Human survival was not accidental. They had endured ice ages, pandemics, mass extinctions, and global wars long before leaving their planet. They had rebuilt civilizations repeatedly, not because they were peaceful or unified, but because they adapted faster than they collapsed. The war transformed from a campaign into a question. Why did humans survive when logic said they should not? The answer became apparent during the Battle of Nysa Drift, where a human task force held a critical region not through superior firepower, but through continuous pressure. They rotated damaged ships instead of withdrawing entirely, attacked supply routes without claiming territory, and forced the collective to respond constantly, draining resources far beyond projected costs. Human commanders later described the strategy simply: if we cannot win quickly, we will make it expensive. The collective had never faced an enemy that weaponized time itself. Their empire was built on efficiency, on decisive outcomes, on predictable submission. Humans disrupted that equation by accepting inefficiency as the price of survival. As years passed, collective expansion slowed. Resources diverted to suppress humanity could not be used elsewhere. Political fractures emerged. Worlds questioned why a single species required so much effort to contain. Human presence became a constant irritation, never overwhelming, never absent. Eventually, contact ceased to resemble war at all. It became coexistence under tension. Humanity was no longer being erased, but neither was it being conquered. The collective had reached an unspoken conclusion. Eliminating humans would require a commitment far greater than the galaxy was willing to pay. When formal negotiations finally occurred, humans did not present themselves as victors. They presented records, losses, adaptations. Failures turned into lessons. They did not ask for dominance. They asked for recognition. Recognition that humans were not an anomaly to be corrected, but a consequence of survival under impossible conditions. Recognition that a species forged by instability would never respond predictably to force. The collective agreed. From that point forward, humanity was classified under a new designation, not powerful, not advanced, but persistent. A category reserved for civilizations that could not be erased without unacceptable cost. Across the galaxy, younger species learned the lesson the collective learned too late. Humanity did not survive because it was meant to. It survived because it adapted faster than extinction could reach it. And in a universe governed by pressure, adaptation was the most dangerous trait of all.